Hi everyone. So I thought I would do another catch-up video. It's a very important time for me and my journey of 75 hard at the moment, which I'll explain shortly. But yeah, just a little insight. We're currently in Santander in Spain. We have a ferry tomorrow. My husband and daughter are in the other room in bed. But it might be a bit of a longer video just because there's quite a bit to catch up on. It's been actually a long time since I've done one of these videos. So I have some notes here, so I'll get into that now. I think I've got a bit of a cold, honestly. I'm getting a bit sick. But today is the 13th of March. So this would have been day 73 of my 75 hard journey. It is now my day 31, but I am officially 10 weeks in. I started this challenge when I was 21 weeks pregnant. I'm now 31 weeks pregnant. So it's been a substantial part of my pregnancy journey so far. And it's definitely something that, like, regardless, I'll always look back on this pregnancy and be like, oh my god, I did that thing, like, you know. So yeah, 10 weeks of doing 75 hard so far, and I should be finishing up in 2 days. And I'm sickened that I'm not, honestly, especially because it was beyond my control. But anyways, we'll get into all of that soon. Just a bit of a catch up. So as you will know, if you watched my previous videos, we just spent like 4 or 5 weeks in Portugal, which is obviously very different to life in Ireland, especially Ireland in January, February, when the weather is just like icy cold and freezing and horrible and stuff like that. So we did definitely have some like really rainy days. Like, I had some very rainy walks in Portugal, but we also had some like absolutely lovely walks and really nice days, and being able to like walk out just like outside your door and just like go, and you're all just like in countryside and valleys and going up and down. And it was so funny, before even going to Portugal I was like, how am I going to do all these walks? I'll just literally have to like walk up and down my house, which is even like outside my house, which even in itself is like hilly. But I surprisingly was able to do quite a bit, and I did definitely feel myself getting even fitter as the time was going on, even though I was getting progressively more pregnant. Yeah, I definitely had some days where my calves were sore, for sure. But we also had the opportunity to go swimming, so we went swimming once a week while we were there, so that was nice, kind of change of pace, because prior to that I was just doing a lot of yoga. So yeah, it was really nice. I did have an experience where I almost failed, purely because I forgot about like this much water left in my bottle, and I had left it in the kitchen, and I was in bed with my daughter and my husband, and I was there and nearly going to sleep, and then all you hear me say is like, oh no. And they were like, what, and I had to like run out to the kitchen and get my water and drink it and finish it. It's like probably 200 mils of like the gallon. And I got into bed, and my little girl was like, uh-oh, because like she was just parting what I had said before I got out of the bed to go get my water. But like, that was a bit crazy. Like, I literally could have failed just like on that much of water left in my bottle. So that was funny. I've also found, like, it's since being in Portugal, but it's just because it's been such a chunk of time that I was in Portugal, that I've started to really enjoy the walks way more, which was like my kryptonite at the start. Like, I just absolutely hate it. I don't know if kryptonite is the right context to use that word in, but I absolutely hated the walks at the start. I also didn't really enjoy the yoga either, because I'm not really into yoga, but I found that I've actually started to really enjoy both of them, unless it's like absolutely lashing rain. There was also a day where I was like so tempted, just purely because of the weather, to just like throw in the towel and just been like, what is even the point of this? And I think that is more so as well just like the disappointment of like knowing what day I could have been on and what day I was on because of the ferry and stuff. So yeah, but I have found in general that I actually like look forward to the walks, and like so long as I do them like during the day, and I get up and I get out and I don't have it hanging over me, like I've been really enjoying them. And the yoga as well, ones that I would have kind of found really difficult at the start, I'm enjoying them, like flowing through them and stuff. There's one instructor in particular on my yoga playlist that I have on YouTube. Her name is Lauren Ekstrom, and like, I don't know, I just really enjoy the way she like formulates the flows and stuff like that, and I find them really enjoyable. But um yeah, it's been interesting, but I have found it so funny, like, because my bump is getting bigger, I'm finding it harder to like see my phone when it's on the ground to do the yoga in. So I have to like move my phone in different directions to be able to actually follow what it is that I'm meant to be doing. But I just thought that was funny. It's just because like I'm physically just getting so much bigger now. Like I'm 10 weeks further along than I was when I started this. So I just thought that was funny. Yeah, I did actually, just in terms of like enjoying the walks and stuff, like I did catch myself at one stage being like, dude, thank God for 75 hard, because like it's really kind of like forced me to like get out and just like live and experience things more. Like I would not have walked as much for sure, because I just wouldn't have pushed myself even as far, or like the distance and stuff, as I did if it wasn't for 75 card. Like I might have gone out, but like I would have said like, oh, I'm pregnant, and like, you know, it's hilly and it's tough and stuff like that, so I wouldn't have even attempted it. Whereas like it really got me out and being able to like enjoy living life more and to experience more every single day. So I did catch myself saying like, oh, thank God for 75 hard one day. But it's a roller coaster. Like you're up and down. Like I can say that, and then I can also say like there's times where I've like just been so bored, and I think that's like a defense mechanism for me, where it's not the challenge that will put me off. Like I enjoy a challenge, but like the monotony and the boredom is where I tend to quit things or give it up and just like be like, oh, I can't be bothered with this. And like it was starting to get to a point where I was just like, this is just going on and on and on and on. And like that's where in real life that like I'll also just like pivot and just move away from something if it's just boring me. So it's been interesting, that kind of like the mental toughness perspective. It's not that it's been like overly difficult or challenging, because like I'll rise to that, but it's like the monotony and the boredom and the length of time that it goes on and stuff like that that really kind of gets to me. So it's been an interesting kind of like roller coaster, which I suppose everyone who attempts or does 75 hard will experience. That it's like every day is different, every week is different. You could have like a really good day where you're like, thank God for 75 hard and this is great, and the next day you could be like, I really just don't want to do this, like, you know. So it's an interesting one, and that's where the mental toughness comes in. Yeah, so as I said, I am 31 weeks pregnant. Today is a Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday, and then Friday would have been my last day. And funnily enough, when I was starting this challenge, it's the challenge in me that I'm like, I want to complete in one go anyway. But also because I'm pregnant, I was like, I have to complete it in one go, because I don't have the luxury of having time to start it again, because I'll just get closer and closer and closer to my due date. So my due date is mid-May, and my current end date, if I finish it this time around, is April 26th. So I'll be about 2 weeks out from delivery. As it stands, I don't know, I'm kind of seeing how it goes on this ferry. So if you watched my previous travel vlog, you would have seen that like the water was so bad that like literally the outdoor deck was closed. Like I couldn't go out, so I couldn't do the outdoor workouts. But I also have like really bad travel sickness, so like all the water I was drinking, I was just puking up and stuff, and I can push through that. Like I'll puke up all the water, it doesn't matter. But I physically couldn't go outside to do the workout. But this time around, like tomorrow, I'm gonna do my walk before we get on the ferry, so tomorrow should be fine. It's Friday, which would have been my last, that would have been day 75. It'll be my day 30 to 33. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to see how I can get the outdoor workout in. Hopefully it's not closed, and if it's not closed, then just get up there and just do something outside for 45 minutes. But if for whatever reason it doesn't pan out, I don't end up finishing off 75 hard this time around, that's okay. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to start it again. Obviously I'm going to be so close to like delivering my baby, and like you have to have a bit of cop on as well. So really in terms of like the future of 75 hard for me and will I complete it or not, I mean, I've been doing it for 10 weeks now. I think that's an accomplishment in itself. But really I'm just gonna see what happens over the next 2 days. Again, tomorrow should be fine, so it's really Friday that's the test, so we shall see how we go. Yeah, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but if it does work out, then I'll keep going with it. And it's interesting because we have like a baby shower coming up, and I'm like, do I really want to like not fully embrace, like not have whatever cake we have for the baby shower just because I'm on 75 hard? Like, do I want to look back and be like, oh, I didn't even taste that cake because I was on 75 hard? But like, honestly, it's that kind of challenge in me. It's like, well, I'm going to be so close to my end date at that date. I'm going to be like in the 60s, I think. So 60 days or so. So if I get that far, I will just keep going. But like, it's just annoying, honestly. It's just annoying. But sure, look, we'll see how we get on with the ferry. So like, next time you hear from me next week when I post a video, it will be like a travel vlog, and we will know the answer at that point. Am I still on 75 hard or am I not? If I'm not, I might continue just doing like 75 soft, because I do find like the walks and yoga and stuff beneficial, but like I've no problem kind of like toning it down either. Things will change as well, like when we go back. Like next week is my last week in work. I'm taking like really early maternity leave. My husband's going back to work, so like our routine's gonna look so different as well, which is not ideal because like right now I do all my yoga in the morning while he has our daughter, and then like before she gets up, but like I won't have that luxury when he goes back to work. So we'll see. It's very disheartening. I actually found this week like Monday was day 70 or 71, I believe, what I would have had, and like it dawned on me, and then that actually really stuck with me all day. And I think that was the day where I was like, I don't care, like it's raining, I don't even want to do this anymore. Like, you know, it like that was like probably the hardest day. I feel like this week is probably the hardest week because I'm just so disheartened by it all. But I'm still doing it anyway, but I definitely feel like my enthusiasm has dropped considerably. Whereas like I think if I hadn't failed and I was just on this week, like this would probably be one of my most motivated weeks because I'm like, oh my god, I'm so close to the finish line, and like just get it done and stuff like that. Whereas like that's not the case for me. Like day 31 just seems so mediocre compared to day 73, but 31 is still such an accomplishment. Like it really is. Like it's a month, like, you know, of doing it non-stop. And yeah, I don't know, it's just a tough week. So yeah, kind of just onto what I was saying there about my husband going back to work and stuff like that. Like one of the reasons as well, like why I'm doing 75 hard is like I get the opportunity to do it now, like with him being off work and like only having one child. Like I know that when our baby girl comes, our new baby girl, like I'll be breastfeeding, I'll be up all night with her, I'll have a toddler during the day, and my husband will be at work, so it's going to be me. So I won't have the luxury, it doesn't seem like a luxury, but I won't have the luxury of getting up at 6:30. Like I get to get up at 6:30 right now, and I just won't have that luxury. Like I'm going to be exhausted, I'll be breastfeeding all night. I don't know if I just said that, I might have. Getting very tired now, baby brain is starting to set in, and it's just going to be all go. So I think I'm just like really embracing this time where there's a bit of routine there that allows me the wiggle room to be able to do something like this, whereas like that's not necessarily something that I'll be able to do for a while until I get like a new routine with the two girls, and I start to like feel better and feel recouped and stuff like that. So I think I'm just like really embracing that. Like yeah, I have the due date as like a date to like work towards, but I also have like the complete change in lifestyle that's going to come with that as well. So I'm kind of just embracing that now. So it's just something I wanted to mention. I don't think I've mentioned that really in a previous video. Another thing I didn't mention, is like such a small thing, it should have been like in video 1, but like I did like before I started in terms of like prepping for 75 hard, I opened up a notes section on my phone, and like I don't have the app. I think it's like €5 or something. I don't have the app, so I can't like take off my tasks on that. But I did just like literally manually type out like all the dates and into weeks, and I'd put like my how many weeks pregnant I am, the dates, and what day it is for 75 hard, and a little checklist of all my tasks and stuff like that. So that's just something I didn't share before either, that I did manually create like a checklist, which I found really helpful at the start, but I honestly don't really use it that much. But like I do check it just to kind of check like what day I'm on, but not so much like what tasks I have left to do. Like I even found at the very beginning, like it was motivating at the very start, like do my progress. I did my progress pick, read my book, drank X amount of liters. But as the day went on, I just wouldn't go into it as much. So it was more just kind of for the start of the day. I've also just like on the back end of that noticed, like comparing myself at the very beginning, I was militant when it came to like how much water I had and like where I was at with all the things. Like I've relaxed so much into it now. Like I'm confident that like I know how much water I've had, or like that I've just done X, Y, and Z. And that's like I suppose part of the journey as well. It's like it does become a lot easier and you become a lot more relaxed. That could also be where people make mistakes, but it's just interesting. Like remember, like I'd have my water measured out and my husband wanted to drink water, but like, no, that's my water. Whereas now sometimes my daughter like spills my bottle of water and I'm like, it's grand, I know I need to just have extra X amount of water, like it's fine. So that's just like an interesting thing as well. This video is all over the place. But yeah, as I said, next week's my last week of work. I've got a 32-week scan on Tuesday, which I'm excited for. And yeah, we'll really just have to wait and see how we get on in the next 2 days. Yeah, Friday is either going to be a day of deciding that like, okay, we're in until the end of April, or we got this far, we got over 10 weeks at this stage. And either way, honestly, I'm just going to say this now, and then I'll finish up. But like before going into the ferry, I'm just like very proud of myself, and 10 weeks is a long time. It's like a quarter of my pregnancy, and like I know it wasn't my mental toughness that like stopped me from doing it. It was just circumstance, and that happens sometimes. Life happens, you know. And that's the whole point of it. And the two hardest days were day one, back at it, convincing my brain to like just do it and start it now, and what would have been day 70 or day 71, just knowing that like I would have been so close to finishing and I just wasn't even halfway there. That's been the toughest. It hasn't been starting it. I think like Andy Frisella, like I've been listening to like so many podcasts, like watching so many people's videos online of them doing 75 hard, and I started listening to Andy Frisella's podcast. By the way, I hear so many people saying like, oh, you have to listen to his podcast, and I'm like, okay, like he has like 600 episodes or something. Like, is there something specific I'm meant to listen to? Episode 208, it's not on YouTube. You have to listen to it like on, what's it called, SoundCloud or something. I don't know what it's called, or one of those places where people listen to podcasts. SoundCloud. I definitely feel like it's not SoundCloud, but like, you know what, I'm Spotify. That's SoundCloud. 208 is the one where he talks about 75 hard, and then the Live Hard program, which is like the year program. Just FYI, because I have not heard one person mention like what part of the podcast to listen to, and like it's only from me listening to like loads of different episodes that he references. Actually, one of his guests references 208, so that's how I knew to go listen to that one. But yeah, he says in one of them, potentially 208 or 208 or 208, that if you don't complete it the first time around, the chances of you completing it are just like reduced more and more and more. And I definitely can relate to that, because like if I don't make it on Friday, like I won't be starting it again. Like It's just not a possibility for me. I know mine is very circumstantial, like being pregnant and stuff like that, but like it just won't be the case, you know, if it doesn't happen. Like I'll definitely keep up some of it again. I might do 75 soft or something, but like I won't be starting it again until at least 6 months to a year after a baby is born and routines have been set and things are a lot more smoother and simpler and stuff like that, you know. So I can definitely see where he's coming from. But yeah, let's see what happens. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of anyone else who has tried it, anyone else who has completed it. It's been cool. And we will see what happens. Check out the video next week for a travel vlog. I've been recording like a good bit in terms of like the actual journey, because we left on Tuesday and the ferry's on Thursday, so all day today, all day yesterday and stuff like that. So I think it's gonna be good in terms of like a travel vlog. And then I might do a video after that and just like, regardless of how it goes on Friday, of like why I'm doing these videos and like my journey of like creating these videos and stuff like that, which has been fun and interesting as well. So I might do that as just like a fun random video after the week after the travel vlog one. So we shall see. Okay, cool. So wish me luck, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.